Hey, what's happening, gamers? How's everybody doing? Welcome to a special Ultimate Selects brought to you by Droggle. This is another Destroy Everything Donkey Kong stream. And thank you guys for watching the It's Good to Be Home short. I still can't believe the numbers I'm seeing right now. That's crazy. But, yeah, Droggle, take it away, man. So, Droggle is... Where is Droggle? Thank you very much, Droggle, for being an ultimate, and I hope you enjoy your monkey stream. We're gonna go bananas, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's crazy. Droggle's like here. Okay, what are we destroying today, Droggle? I didn't, wasn't really in the chat. Droggle's like raising his hand in school. Here! You're funny, Droggle. You guys are great. The Radiant Slayer? Where's that, Droggle? How do I get out of here? Supposed to be a giant slug thing to take me back upstairs, right? Where is it? Oh, where is the slug thingy? There it is.
Should we teleport?
Nice music? Yeah, we're not gonna have it. Alright, Radiant Slayer. Bam! Boo. Radiant Slayer, destroy. Okay. So, I was literally in the process of putting away the dishes, and I saw on my phone it said 1,000 views for the cat short. I'm like, what? That's not right. And then YouTube's like, oh, my bad, 2,000 views for the cat short. And I'm like, what? He's not even doing anything cute. He's just there on the thumbnail. Just looking all like, I'm here. I'm like, what? Then I checked again. It's like, now what is it saying for the short? Yeah. Says after 37 minutes, it's got 2,800 views already and rising. It's like, wow. Cool, so then I don't need to worry about the stream. I mean, my views are going to plummet by 2 in the morning anyway, so I mean, it doesn't matter. But, that, you know, I was just hoping for, okay, we're going to keep them stable or something like that, so I can just focus on Droggle's stream. And then they're like, no! I was like, okay, well, I'm going to finish putting these dishes away, and then bam. Let's see, what else did I do on the break? I installed the DLC for TMNT. So tomorrow, guys, we'll be looking at the brand new Ninja Turtles DLC. So that's the plan. And we're gonna do some more Pac-Man. And because I made 2 save files for Pac-Man, we don't have to worry about me losing all my lives again and having to do a game over. I can just reload the save file if I lose all my lives tomorrow again. And then, of course, if I lose all my lives again, I guess we'll have to do that one mode. I'll have to do baby mode. It's very upsetting. Oh, what'd I find? What is that? Radiant layer is no match for elephant breath. Ha ha ha! Oh. So Drago has very interesting Donkey Kong streams. He likes destroying everything. I don't know why, but I mean, hey, use the directory for Drago's check cleared, so time for more destruction. Found the next location of the banana, was it? It's like ASMR, but with elephants. Okay, this is the ground. Oh, can't break that. Destroy! After I raked... I'm messed up here. After I wreck the race where you had to. I mean, that's fine. Good for me, Drago.
Take a breather.
Did my heart rate go down? Uh-oh. Zelda, did you take my device? My pulse was pretty high a while ago. Where are we now? Well, Drago, you're what the doctor ordered, buddy. Your destruction stream has brought my pulse down from 110 to 50. I had a very high pulse on the previous stream, the Sonic one. I did some cardio tonight, and then I had some problems with my heart wouldn't go down after I did the very... And the doctor told me, but you need to, because the heart scare, I had to do more exercise and stuff like that. Gotta eat better, gotta do exercise. But for whatever reason, I couldn't get my last time I went to the hospital, I was 150. So I was just kind of chilling here on the couch, reinstalling. Full disclosure, I was reinstalling 2 games, and apparently I was reinstalling them at the same time. Ninja Turtles and Donkey Kong. And that's why it took a while. Donkey Kong and reinstall, Ninja Turtles reinstall at the same time. Which of course Ninja Turtles supposed to be better. No escape from corner case. I mean, I think part of it has to do with there's some really bad YouTube drama going on. I'm not involved, but like it involves supposedly people making money off Billy's passion, Billy the game creator. And I don't know the specifics, but I've heard from a couple people talking about, oh, this person is just doing all this stuff. Apparently the cousin of Billy is saying stuff, and Jay from Game Chasers is saying something else. It's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to keep track of. And I don't want to talk to my friend Happy Console Gamer because he was way closer to Billy than me, so I don't want to bother him. But I think that stuff is stressful. And also, I want to get my father-in-law a pay-as-you-go cell phone, because apparently the state of Illinois said that he's not poor enough to qualify for a cell phone program. And he's, my father-in-law is old. He's like 70 something. Yeah. Mid-70s, early 70s. We're just kind of coincident. It's interesting that if Amber and I don't have kids soon, we'll be the same age her parents were when they when they had Amber, which was like 50 something. Which I don't want kids at 50. That worked for Job in the Bible and some other characters, but I don't want to be an old man, Bad enough I'm 40 or something now, so I really don't want to have kids at 50. That'd be cool. I wouldn't be able to do anything with them. It would be a grandparent age. My parents were in their 20s when they had kids. And Amber and I were 20 when we had the first miscarriage. And we were in our 30s when we had the second miscarriage. So, actually, the doctor thinks we might have had more than 2. I don't know. I do not know. But I do know this. After each time the pregnancy didn't work out, Amber's personality got a little feisty, a little sad. That's besides the point. Getting back to my ADD moment. I want to get my father-in-law a pay-as-you-go phone on Amazon so that he can text his daughter and stay in contact with her family. The thing is, I don't know if he's going to accept my charity. Like, he and I made peace over the years. They didn't really want me to date him. Sorry. They didn't come to the wedding. But I still, if I can do stuff to ease his golden years, I want to help, Because if the state of Illinois is going to say, oh, we're not going to help you out, I can easily get him like a $70 or $80 smartphone on Amazon. Have him sign up for like a text plan or something like that. That way, at least he can contact people, because apparently the state of Illinois took his cell phone back. Which is why when Amber calls him, he doesn't answer. He doesn't have a phone call. They took it away. But, you know, I just want to help if I can. I know that that's silent, but I know that's my idea. I'm going to do what I can. And Amber, bless her heart, is talking about going to see my parents a couple times a year now. And I'm like, well, I mean, my parents are 9 hours away. Your parents are close to my parents. It's like, not really, because we're getting stuck in traffic. Just because my parents are in upstate New York, or we're in Pennsylvania, doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to get to them. Especially when you want to travel in the winter. It's going to take, like, 14 hours just to leave this area of Pennsylvania and get to that part of New York, because we have to go through Buffalo. And Buffalo in the winter is a nightmare. Now, when we visited my parents in October, yeah, it only took like 9 hours to get there. But when we visited for my birthday, we had to leave at right after I got my last super chat on my birthday, or whatever. Yeah, we did my birthday the day before my birthday. And then at midnight of my birthday, we got in the car, and we drove to New York from here. And even in February, right? Even in February, it took us like 12 hours. It's just because on the map it says, oh yeah, they're 9 hours away. That doesn't mean anything. There could be car accidents, there could be weather, there could be construction. You know? 9 hours away doesn't mean... Even if you leave at like midnight, there's no guarantee that it's not going to take less than 12 hours. And yeah, Amber and I like to leave at midnight because then we skip out on a lot of traffic. I'll tell you what, Naomi's pretty amazing. But we were in bad shape. I mean, we're still in bad shape, but now we're in better shape. The channel was gonna... Naomi hadn't helped with the gifted membership twice. On September 25th and September 29th, yesterday. The channel would have been so low that it would impact the channel going forward, because we would never be able to hit that pay threshold again. Because YouTube wouldn't let us hit that pay threshold. Every time we make less money, we never make that amount ever again. And this was like dangerously low. So Naomi helped out. And if you guys were on Patreon and you're not a member over there again, please consider becoming a member of the YouTube channel again. Because I know you guys left and you went to Patreon, but then you guys are dumping Patreon. It's like we went from 1,200 people, or 1,200 in donations for Patreon, and now we're 700. I mean, that really doesn't cover any of our expenses for the channel. For the operations of the channel. The channel operations is at least $1,900 a month. That covers the newsletter, that covers like getting games for the channel, the $300 for the internet, the money that it costs to run Photoshop, the money it costs to run our streaming equipment, the money it costs to run our security equipment for DDoSing. So the fact that we had so many people like give up on the Patreon, oh my god, I just can't catch the person. As somebody was asking earlier, it's like, what kind of expenses do you have? Well, we have to pay for the newsletter, and now the newsletter went up in price. So before we only had to pay $100 for the newsletter, now we have to pay $275 a month. And they still will only give us 2,000. Only let us contact 2,000 people in total per newsletter. If we exceed 2,500, then we'll have to pay $400 for the newsletter. And the newsletter only has 930 people signed up for it. So we don't have to worry about like hitting that 2,000 threshold. Although, if we had 2,000 people in the newsletter, there'd be a lot more people on the live stream. So I wouldn't mind if we had like 2,000 or 3,000 people on the newsletter. I guarantee that would increase our viewership. But we only have 900 people, and they don't all show up for everything, you know? When we started the newsletter in 2020, we had 300 people on the newsletter. And as of this year, we almost hit 1,000 people. We dropped down about 930. But every YouTuber has to spend a lot of money on the YouTube channel. You have to spend money to make money. Like that doesn't work. And I'm not even factoring the rent for a house or anything. That's a separate. Just to run the channel in general in 2025. It's $1,900 a month. For the 100 live streams that we do, for all this stuff. Writing the daily newsletter, running the security equipment, running the live stream, making sure that we don't go over our... We don't have a data cap. Well, actually, technically, our data cap is 4 terabytes. And we're getting very close to hitting our 4 terabytes, and so we have to renegotiate with our internet provider. Before, it was a contract of $300 a month for the business internet, which included the 4 terabytes of data. But now, because our live streams are getting close to like 5 hours at a time, the terabytes are going up. And we've been getting yelled at by our internet provider because they're like, hang on a second, we agreed that you could do 4 terabytes and that was plenty, but now you're getting close to passing 4 terabytes. What's going on? And I explained to them, I said, YouTube changed their policy and now live streams last for almost 5 hours. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to have to renegotiate the contract. I'm like, okay, well, how much is that going to cost? They said you were paying $300, now it would be $5. It's like, holy crap. So, it's not finalized yet, but the internet provider is trying to push us to a $500 contract for 3 years. Because, you know, we're using a lot of bandwidth. It's totally sucks. But again, it's not finalized yet. I'll make a Patreon post explaining when it's finalized. They're trying to you know, lead us in that direction because, I don't know, because they're greedy business. Technically, I was the one that broke these rules. We're doing every 4 terabytes. And 4 terabytes you think would be a lot, but when you're streaming at 1080p, high res, and you're doing like 5-hour live streams at a time, you're doing like two 5-hour live streams each. Before we were only doing about 3 hours. 3 hours each per live stream would get 1,000 views. Now it's more. Now it's 5 hours for 1,000 views. Almost. 4 hours, 15 minutes, 4 hours, 38, 4 hours, 46, 4 hours, 15 minutes. You get the idea. Heck is that thing? And I'm doing my best to try to keep that 4 terabyte deal. But I was just going over the books and I'm like, okay, in order for us to stay in business past 2027, we need 500 members a month. Right now we're at about 300 with the gifted. About 350, something like that. We really have to push for membership so we can't stay in business like past 2027 because we can't afford all the additional overhead costs. Basically the business will just collapse on itself because you have to remember too, there's another deciding factor in our retirement in 2027, you know, should we not get the members we need, is every year YouTube goes down in price. Every year they pay their creators less and less and less and less. And they skimp out on ad revenue, they take more of a percentage off memberships, off super chats, all that stuff. But YouTube is constantly screwing over their content creators. And by my projections, by 2027, it's going to get so bad without those 500 members that we won't be able to take the massive impact that's going to happen from ad revenue going down. Because ad revenue, you have to remember, drops by 6% every year. It's been dropping at about 6% every year since 2017. Yeah. And I don't even have a business degree. Like, I don't have a master's or anything, but I'm smart enough to know that, you know, YouTube is basically dying. And the fact now Mr. Orange Man just sued YouTube for $24 million and won, that means that our ad revenue was crap this fall because YouTube once again was spending money they didn't have. Just like when they paid off BLM and they did a bunch of other weird stuff. They don't help the content creators at all. They only help people that basically are just as rich and wealthy as YouTubers. And the little guy, the content creator, is always gets screwed. That's why I really hope somebody like Elon Musk or somebody makes a competitor to YouTube soon, because YouTube's not going to be around by 2030. This platform will no longer exist. Not in the way that you know it. They'll go full-blown, like, pay-as-you-go content. Like, you won't be able to access certain parts of YouTube anymore because it'll be like you have to become a premium, like, person. That's where they're heading. Like, if you want to watch YouTube, like, certain content creators, they make you put it through paywall. Watch. Oh, I thought it was a giant polar bear. But did you know, statistic-wise, that most home businesses don't last more than 10 years? Amber and I made it 18. Like, most home businesses that are operated by a family of 4 do not last longer than a decade. We got 18 years on YouTube as paid content creators. 18. That's pretty good. So, if you're curious, like, how did Amber and I survive, like, the really bad years when ad revenue was so bad during the pandemic? The answer is easy. KwingsLetsPlays had 18 ultimates. That's $100 per person from 18 people. As of 2020, or not as of 2020, as of this year, we only have 10 ultimates. That's it. We have not exceeded 10 ultimates in 7 months. So, like, all the years that we had, like, really bad ad revenue, we never felt it because we essentially had 500 members, because we had the 18 ultimates, plus we had 10 legendaries, which the legendary tier was $50. And even though, like, it didn't say 500 members or whatever, we were earning the revenue of what 500 members would be. And then when a bunch of people left the channel and Ultimates left over the past couple of years, we've lost about 8 Ultimates for all kinds of reasons. Some are petty, some of them are sad. We had 2 Ultimates pass away. And we had some people split with the channel over political and religious differences. And they made quite a big stink when they left. And we're not going to name names. Because I do appreciate when they were supporters of the channel. But they did go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then we had Ultimates that left because of financial reasons and because they just grew out of the channel. They wanted to, you know, buy Gundam models, and, you know, they wanted to get a nicer car, and they wanted to do a bunch of stuff. You know, it's their life, their money. Understandable, you know. The Ultimates that we still have, they've been with us a long time. They've been with us like at least 10 years. But we're not really picking up any new Ultimates. And, you know, that's how Amber and I scooted by for so long, is we had, you know, we had 18 Droggles, basically. We don't have 18 Droggles anymore. We don't even have 15 Droggles. We have 10 or 9. And you can see the big vacuum difference of the channel itself, because you had, you know, for so long we were essentially PBS. And you guys know what PBS was, public broadcasting, you know, made possible thanks to viewers like you, type thing. So that's how we were able to survive the pandemic. That's how we were able to survive getting our channel hacked, and getting shadow banned, is we had financial support from subscribers. Like, we had their backing as Ultimates, as Legendaries, all that other stuff. We don't have that anymore. And it's scary because it's like, now I get to see, you know, over the past 2 years now, it's been getting worse over 2 years. Now I get to see myself how bad shadow banning really impacts the channel's revenue. It's, you know, research, or it's searchability in the search engine, how many, like, thousands of views we're losing every day, and things like that. I never felt that impact because we were so blessed with all the people who were financially supporting the channel. And when they left, and it dropped down to just 10 people or 9 people, you know, we really started to feel the sting that we never felt before. And, you know, we're incredibly blessed that we lasted as long as we did, but if we don't do something by 2027, the channel, basically what will happen, it will just implode. Like, either we won't be able to pay our internet bill, or our security, like, company who watches our what do you call it, our internet stuff. Like, they watch for DDoSing, we have to pay them. Either we won't be able to pay them, and our live streams will be DDoSed so badly that we can't even get a signal. There's lots of things that could happen in 2 years. So we really have to find a way of building up our memberships. And I don't even know how to do that, to be honest. I'm not that great of a salesperson. And we can't really offer people anything like benefits, because we don't have any benefits to give, because we can't afford to do, like, the crazy contests that we used to. By the time 2027 rolls around, we'll have been on YouTube 21 years. So, I mean, we're definitely going to make the 20th year on YouTube is going to be very special for the channel. I'm going to do a lot of crazy stuff. Looking at games I always wanted to, even though people probably won't watch it. It'll be my big, like, kind of early send-off, because I really believe our year 21 is going to be very bad. And also, what's interesting about next year, on our 20th anniversary on YouTube, or not 20th, 2027 is our 20th. It's our 20th wedding anniversary next year. That's the year the Lego Batman game comes out, which is going to be pretty amazing. So I'm pretty hyped about that. But I would love to keep doing this. We just have to find a way of doing it to the point where we're getting help from viewers, or some ad agency is actually promoting our content. Because the only YouTubers that are doing well are people that have the money to spend on promoting their videos. And we don't have that, because to promote one of your videos, if you didn't know this, it can cost you up to $100 per video to promote it. And that's just for a week. So a lot of these YouTubers, they pay companies hundreds of dollars to promote their videos, and that's how their videos go viral. The search engine has been so bad on YouTube that most content creators, the big boys, they actually pay companies to promote their videos for them. As well as they used to pay Google to do it, but now Google requires some insane stuff. I'll explain. So, if you're going to be an advertiser on YouTube, they require your license, your social security number, and your bank account information. And if you do not provide that information, they will not let you be a promoter on YouTube. And also, they make your information, including your real name, public. So, like, me and Amber, where most people don't know who we really are, if we're paying for the promotion of our channel, which YouTube is encouraging, the people who don't like us and have already tried to do away with us twice would be able to find out our real name and other things about us through YouTube's own, like, booking information for promoters. So that's the reason why the views dropped too, is because, like other content creators, Amber and I were using the Google promotion feature. You might have seen some of our videos promoted over the last 2 years. We were paying about, I think it was like $100 a month to pick one video and promote it, and YouTube would promote it. It's how we were getting subscribers and everything. We're not getting subscribers anymore after we couldn't promote. We went down from getting 1,000 subscribers a month to now we only get about 200 because we're fully shadow banned. And being able to advertise on YouTube was a godsend, but we can't do it anymore because we can't risk our personal information getting out there. Like, it's stupid that YouTube would post that stuff. That thing should be private. Your social security, your name, you know, where you're located to run an ad. That's ridiculous. So, like, they just keep making worse and worse decisions, you know, and very dangerous ones, too. Like, that's incredibly dangerous. If you want to be safe on the internet, never give your full name. Always use either just your first name or use a made-up name online, because there are people out there that are crazy. You never want to give out your real information. There's only a handful of people on the internet that actually know my real name. Most people just know me as Kwing. They think my last name is Kwing. It's not. And my real name has no tie to my last name. Like, my business is under a different name. Because, you know, I don't trust people. And also, the address of our business isn't located in Pennsylvania. It's somewhere in Texas. It's not real. In fact, many years ago, somebody went to Texas to do away with us, and they showed up and they took pictures. They said they were coming to get us. The business was located on a dirt road in the middle of Texas, like near Austin. There was nobody there. They got super mad. Of course, I called the cops on them and they were arrested, but it was just funny because they were coming there to do away with Amber and I. And they went to this area of Texas that was completely abandoned because that's where our mailing address was. And it's totally legal to do that, by the way. Places like Rocket Lawyer and a bunch of other websites encourage you to make dummy addresses for your business. Because it's the internet. They're crazy people. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, I appreciate that, Blue Sky. And it's nothing personal, guys. I just, like, in 2027, I'll be 45, I believe. I'm trying to get back into the game journalism myself. Like, I have my resume out there, and I'm trying to do additional jobs to try to... I got 2 years to prepare for there will be a big fallout. And it's not just me. You're going to see a lot of content creators by 2027 that you grew up with that are going to announce their retirement, or they're just going to leave abruptly. Because the ad revenue, if it really drops 6 or 8% every year, by 2027, ad revenue will not be sustainable for any YouTube partner under 1 million subscribers. If you don't have 1 million subscribers, you will not survive the fallout in 2027. You won't. It's not possible. Because if you have 1 million subscribers, you're getting at least 50,000 to 90,000 views per video. So you can, you know, you can survive the whatever. But if you're a content creator that's only getting 20,000 views, or 10,000 views, or 1,000 views per video by 2027, the ad revenue is, like, right now, I think most live streams, if you get 1,000 views, you make 20 bucks a live stream. Last year, when I was live streaming, it was, for 1,000 views, it was 30 bucks. And the year before that, it was 35. And the year before that, it was 40. That was just for 1,000 views. So per 1,000 views for a live stream was, you know, a couple years ago, like 40 bucks. That's why I did like 4 or 5 live streams a day. I didn't need super chats. I didn't need memberships. I did the work myself, and I got paid for it. This year, it's fluctuated between $10 and $20 per 1,000 views for a live stream. But an upload, this is the thing. If you do an upload on YouTube and you only get 1,000 views for an upload, you make $3. I kid you not. $3. If you just get 1,000 views. You have to get way more than 1,000 views for an upload. For it to even, you know, do anything. That's why we live stream so much. We live stream because that's where the money is. Or that's where the money was. But just imagine next year only making $5 or $10 per live stream. Your business will go kaput because you won't survive the fallout from it. But that's what's been happening is every year, as I've just confirmed with you guys, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it was like $40 per 1,000 views. This year, it's barely 20. It's anywhere between 18, 20, 15, you know? And it keeps getting lower and lower. And if you don't get 1,000 views at all, you earn 0. But it's never gone back up. And it never will go back up. Because we have incompetent leadership at YouTube. They don't know how to do anything. And I'm too old to do that kind of job. I wouldn't be able to handle the stress. Also, I'm not moving to California either. No way, Jose. Wow, we've done a lot of destruction, Drago. And a lot of people are taking up residence with places like Kick now and some other things, but Kick is offering them a sign-in bonus. Like, if Kick offered me a sign-in bonus of like 10 grand, I'd take it and be like, all right, I'll do it. I'll stream exclusively on Kick. Let's go. But, you know, nobody knows who we are, so we can't really give Kick any good numbers anyway. And also, Kick can't survive DDoS attacks anyway. What'll happen, just like on Twitch, when you're DDoSed on Twitch or you're DDoSed on Kick, your stream is shut off. YouTube has like a feature that Google built in that basically when you get like DDoSed or other types of cyber attack, the YouTube site holds tight for a while, and it will do its best to keep refreshing your stream until it reconnects. Twitch and Kick and Rumble, they don't give you that liberty. So if you get like a huge denial of service attack or whatever, your stream will get shut off. Because Twitch and those other places, even though they're built on streaming, right? They don't have the type of servers that YouTube has. Which is weird because you would think that Twitch would be able to do like really high-res 1080p and 4K and stuff like that. But most people on Twitch still only stream at 720p. Because there's so many content creators on Twitch live streaming that Twitch can't really properly have insane you know, video codec quality that YouTube can do, because they don't have the money and the resources for it. Mainly because they used to pay their content creators like huge bonuses and stuff like that. I don't know if they still do that or not, but they used to. You would have a contract just like Facebook you would sign. And this is all old news, so it doesn't matter if I talk about this. But majority of the content creators you guys probably watch that are on Twitch and whatever, they were given contracts. Completionist is long gone, right? He was given about, I think, Twitch gave him about 20 grand as a sign-in bonus to do his completionist live streams over there, where he would go and he'd play the games and then he would take the footage and use in his videos. Like, he was over on Twitch all the time. He never streamed on YouTube because he was paid by Twitch to do it. So not only was he receiving ad revenue from Twitch, which wasn't very much, but he had a sign-on bonus. And he told me that years ago. Amber and I never got the opportunity to do a sign-in bonus with Twitch because Twitch, at one point, had a lot of Maker Studios people working there. And you guys know that Maker Studios didn't like us. And we were doing better numbers than a lot of Maker Studios people back then. Like, a lot of Maker Studios people like to say we were one-hit wonders, but from 2011 until 2017, we were averaging 1 million views, like, per video for quite a while. We weren't one-hit wonders. If we were one-hit wonders, we would have had one video get 10 million views, and our other videos wouldn't be in the million and up club at all. As far as I know, we have about 500 videos that are between the viewership of 10 million to 500,000 views. Plus, after that, we have videos from the 300,000 to the 100,000 range that average 200 videos. So that's not a one-trick pony. That was a business that was doing really well, and it got sabotaged by people to the point where it doesn't work anymore. And it sucks because, you know, I wanted to be doing this until I was in my, I wouldn't say 70s. I won't know who I am when I'm in my 70s because of the brain damage from the car accident. Like, every year I lose more memory and I space out more and, you know, all that other stuff. By the time I'm an old man, I'll be amazed if I don't get, like, some type of, like, you know, Alzheimer's or something. Because my brain is not what it should be. And you know, I've made peace with it. The doctors keep telling me, you know, you gotta work as much as you can because your brain's gonna be basically bad by the time you're 70 or 60 something. Because you know, I barely survived that car accident, so there are repercussions for survival, basically. Never say God doesn't have a sense of humor. But, you know, I'm okay now, but as the years go on, it gets worse and worse. Which you can tell, go back and watch older videos of me when I was in my 20s and 30s and stuff like that. I was a lot more alert. I would be able to respond to people a lot quicker. I would be able to be on top of, like, you know, game trivia and Batman lore and all this other stuff, and not pause, or like, and when I mean pause, I'm talking like few minute pauses where, like, I completely forget what I was talking about, and then I'm like, what was I talking about? That happens so much now, and it's only going to get progressively worse. And, you know, as you age, you're supposed to, like, have, like, cognitive, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Problems as you age. That's normal. But for people with head injuries and brain damage, it's worse for us. It is. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's no type of brain surgery where you can replace, like, dead brain cells or dying brain cells or anything like that. If they do a brain transplant successfully, it wouldn't even be me, because how do you know that your personality doesn't come from your brain? You know? We don't know. Nobody's successfully done it. Every time they try to do a brain surgery, the person dies. As soon as you, like, cut the spinal cord or whatever, that's it. You sever your connection to all your organs and everything, you're toast. Whether you're cryogenically frozen or it doesn't matter. As soon as the brain stops giving signals like a computer, like unplugging a computer, does a computer work once you unplug it? No. It's just, it's a shell, basically. That's what the human brain is. When you unplug your brain from your body, you're dead. I hate to say it, but, you know, it's true. Oh, I have a very dark sense of humor, yeah. I always have, though. I think surviving that car accident, Jotaro, is what made me dark. Like, I was a very punny guy and stuff like that, and, you know, corny jokes, but when I survived the car accident and I came to YouTube and stuff like that, the more I kept getting sick and stuff like that, my sense of humor got darker. I have what's known as black sense of humor, I believe is what it's called. It's very, very dark, very, I wouldn't say edgy. Edgy is more like political nonsense. Like, it's, I joke a lot about death and other things. Whoa. As well as, like, very blunt humor. I think it's a way how I kind of cope with my own diagnosis and stuff. I don't know. But here's the funny thing. They told me with my neuropathy, I wouldn't be able to walk, like, by 2026. I'm still walking. I walk with a cane, but I still walk. Like, so if they tell me, hey, by the time you're 50, you'll have to have a wheelchair, it's like, I'm gonna say bet to them because I'm gonna keep walking. And you know, I can't wait to tell my doctor, hey, I drove for 19 hours. I want to see what he says. Because they told me to stop driving, like, what was it? I was told to stop driving by my doctor in 2022, I think. They said it was not good for me to do that because, like, you know, if something happens to my leg and I can't feel it, you know, how am I going to control the vehicle? And things like that. But I was able to drive. Was I in pain? Yeah. But the secret is I'm always in pain. Like, the neuropathy always hurts. It doesn't go away. It doesn't get better. It always hurts. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't wake up in agony in my leg. You know? Not a day. I've just gotten used to it. But it definitely, like, the really bad days, you can tell the inflection of my voice that I'm in a lot of pain. Like right now, I'm in tremendous pain. Tylenol, ibuprofen, even the medicine I take, and none of it does anything. It doesn't work. Nothing works. And that's been the case with my dad's had neuropathy longer than me. I got it when I was diagnosed with neuropathy when I was 35. My dad had neuropathy when he was 30. And then it got really bad when he turned 43, I think. And my dad is 60-something now. 64? 62? Something like that. He doesn't look it, mind you. We're blessed with really young-looking genes. Today in the grocery store, Amber and I dress like teenagers, right? Or, well, we dress like gamers. Had a lady come up to us, and she was like, oh, you kids are so adorable. Are you newlyweds? And Amber and I looked at her, and I'm like, no, we're not newlyweds. She's like, are you sure? Because it looks like you're in the honeymoon phase. You're holding hands, and you know, you guys are laughing about something, and you're just so adorable. Reminded me of my husband, you know, who's not with us anymore. And I said, well, I'm sorry for your loss. And I said, no, I'm 42. And she's like, what? I said, yeah, and my wife is, you know, I can't say her age, but she's not 20. And the lady looked at us weird, and then I was like, I'm not gonna ask. I didn't even ask her name. She looked at us and she's like, I'm 56, and I kid you not, she looked like she was in her 60s or 70s, and she was 50-something. I'm like, my eyebrows went up. I was like, oh! And she just kind of walked away. It was like, she came over to, because Amber and I, like, you know, Amber was having problems reaching something. And, like, I reached up and I grabbed it, and I teased her a little bit, and this lady came by and said we were just so cute together. Because Amber and I, you know how we act on live streams? We do that all the time in real life, outside of stream. Like, our couch plays are basically our marriage. Like, so we tease each other, we do all kinds of stuff. You know, if we had a camera following us around all the time like a GoPro, you know, it would be the same type of whatever that we do with our live streams, except we're a little bit uncensored, you know, offline. So we talk about more adult things and whatever, because we're a married couple, obviously. But Amber's super religious, so don't expect her to be raunchy or anything like that. She's super religious. I tried to get Amber a nun outfit for cosplay reasons, and she wouldn't let me buy it for her because she said it was sacrilegious, and it's like, we're not Catholic. But, you know, I won't get into private stuff. I'll leave it at that. I'll say she wasn't gonna, whatever. But she's like, I'm not wearing that because I feel like, you know, that's wrong. And it's like, it's just cosplay, but, you know, she wouldn't do it. I was bummed. She's like, I think you'd make a really cute nun. You're so strict. But, you know, we have a lot of fun with life. I'm so excited. Yeah, I really hope I remember a lot about our wedding next year. I've had a really rough year this year. I've had a lot of problems with memory, and the doctors are concerned. They want me to, you know, get the MRI. And I just had my friend died from a brain tumor. And he was having memory problems, and then his legs just gave out. And, you know, Billy went really quick. And I'm not saying I have something similar to Billy. I don't know. But I know the doctors have been pressuring me all this year to get an MRI because they want to check my head. They saw something in an x-ray, they want to check it. And I haven't had the MRI because I don't have the money for it. I plan on getting the MRI before Thanksgiving. I've been saving up for it because my insurance is not... I have a very bad deductible on my insurance, so my insurance isn't really going to cover the MRI cost. Which my insurance doesn't want to do the MRI either, even though the doctors say, oh yeah, I need it. But I've been having a lot of problems with memory this year. And then I had an episode, a bad episode in Illinois this week. We drove near where my car accident happened, and I thought I was fine. And Amber and I were in the hotel room, and I woke up screaming, and my head hurt, and I started, like, vomiting and stuff in the bathroom, and my head hurt so much, and, like, I was reliving the car accident, this past week. And I've been home now for a couple days, so I haven't had any of those horrible nightmares, or head pain. But, you know, I want to get that MRI. And I'm going to. I'm just, you know, I'm scared. I don't know what they're going to find. The last MRI I had 10 years ago didn't show anything. It just showed damage from my car accident, right? Especially where I got hit. I got the left side of my head messed up from the car accident. So, but I've been, and I don't want to selfishly say this because, you know, seems kind of paranoid, but I think when you have a friend pass away and they're like around your age, you start to think like, man, you know, this could happen to me or something like that. And when Billy went from a brain tumor, it was like, man, the doctors have been pressuring me to get this MRI all year. My mind started to go to a dark place. Like, do I have something wrong with me too? Is that what these headaches are? You know? And Billy and I worked the same amount of hours too. Like, Billy was a workaholic just like I am. Actually, he worked more than I did. I only really, my last couple years on YouTube, for the past like 6 years on YouTube, I've kind of gone away from doing uploaded content, so I'm not really working as much. I live stream. I stopped live streaming. I go to bed. I get up. I live stream. I don't have like all-night editing jobs anymore. I haven't done all-night editing jobs in 10 years. You know, I've had one small heart attack. One. And I've been trying to get my life in order more. I haven't been pulling all-nighters anymore. I was pulling all-nighters from when I first started YouTube until 2023, which is very bad. But, you know, when we got shadow banned, I had to work harder than ever. So, you know, the thing that happened in July, I've really been trying to be better about stuff, right? But you know, it's hard for a workaholic to change their spots when all you do is work. And that's all I really do. Because when I don't work, the scary thing is my mind goes places. Like, I remember the car accident, I can feel the pain in my legs a lot. Being able to distract your mind is good. And when I can't do that, and I'm left to my own devices, or like Amber's not home, and I'm home alone with the cats and stuff like that, that's when it's very bad for me. So, you know, I don't know what the future really is going to hold. Like, for me, as I get older, I'm nervous about it. You know? It's concerning. And Amber even, I don't know if you guys know this, but she blames herself for the car accident. Like, even though she didn't go through the car accident, she blames herself. And it wasn't her fault. But it impacted my life, and it impacted her life in a way. What was I talking about? Were we still talking about Billy? Give me a minute. We were talking about the car accident, right? Something about, I'm not gonna tell you guys where it happened. It happened in Illinois. It was... Oh! I think, yeah, Amber blames herself for it because she was in a beauty pageant. And I was there to pick her up. And I don't remember what was wrong with her car. She was having problems. Amber's who inspired me to get a Jeep. Like, Amber had a Jeep before me. I drove a Volkswagen. I don't like to talk about it a lot because I'm a Jeep owner now, but I used to have a Volkswagen. And that was the car that because I used to have to, one of my side jobs is what'd I do? I used to, wasn't the radio thing. Oh, right. I used to play the drums at churches, so I needed that, it was like a Volkswagen thing that had a lot of space where I could put stuff in it. I could fit my drum set in the car. And, that's why I liked it. And I didn't want to get a pickup truck, because if I had a pickup truck, then I couldn't, you know, my drums and my percussion equipment would be damaged by the weather when I was driving the pickup truck. So the pickup truck wasn't ideal. So the Volkswagen, or whatever it was, some type of wagon, it had the ability to store my drums and all my equipment, and I could go to different churches, set up my kit, and then I'd get paid by those churches. So it was like a Sunday side job. Like all day Sunday, or different Sundays, I would work at different churches, working in their praise team, and I get paid for it. Some of the churches would give me gas money. Not very many, though. Some. And I went all the way up to Chicago. I played in churches in Rockford. I played in churches in Chicago. And I played at churches in, what was it? Highland Park, I think it was called. And that was kind of like a side gig for me, on top of working at the golf course and working at Funko Land and stuff like that. You know, I like to work. Working was great. But Amber, the reason I'm bringing up stuff is the family, they talked about the accident. My wife's family talked about it. Oh, when I was when I was with them for Mom's burial, somebody brought it up. I don't know who brought it up, so I've been thinking about it a lot. And you know, sometimes I can talk about it okay, and other times it's like I don't want to talk about it. If I bring it up, it's fine, but if other people bring it up, and especially like being in the town where it happened this past week was hard. And what a lot of people don't know is the accident happened right in front of my wife's house. So the reason why I can't go to where my ailing father-in-law lives is I cannot even drive on that road without flashbacks. And I'm talking like painful flashbacks where my head hurts. Like searing head pain. Like a really bad headache. And my breathing gets heavy, and you know, my the side of my body where I got hit starts to ache. It's bad. I don't like to read. Like I can't go there. And it's nothing against my father-in-law. You know, he and I made peace from the dating things, the dating years, and the early married years, stuff like that. I said some things to him. He said some things to me. Because, like I said, he didn't come to the wedding, so that hurt. But I made peace with a lot of stuff with somebody. I don't know who it was. It might have been one of my brother-in-laws talked about it. I don't remember. But it got brought up. And I've been having small problems with it. And I know it was over 20 years ago, but I just, for whatever reason, even with therapy and other things, I can't forget it. Because it messed me up, right? I mean, it gave me brain damage. It gave me problems in my ribs. It might have... We don't have proof of this, because I would have to go to some crazy doctor in New York City or Boston. But some doctors believe that the neuropathy happened faster for me than my dad because of the car accident. The brain damage. He thinks that it triggered a rapid thing with a dormant, like, you know, neuropathy was supposed to probably hit me in my 60s or 70s, and it hit me much earlier because of, like, you know, actual blunt trauma or something like that to the brain. I don't know. But it could all be connected, you know, which would be really bad. It would suck. It would be super bad. But I haven't been in the best state for the past couple days. And what happened in the hotel room really scared me because I thought I was going to die. That sucked. But it only happened briefly, and Amber was there. Like, she was in the hotel with me, so it went away. But it didn't feel like a panic attack. Panic attacks are where you can't breathe. The fact that I had head pain and I was, you know, tossing my cookies at the same time while reliving the accident, like watching it in slow motion in my head. I don't know what to call that. It was scary. I've experienced something like that before, but it's been a long time. Like, I was, like, literally in and out of the hospital for stuff, and I had something similar to that. Really bad headaches and it could be a form of post-traumatic stress disorder, but I don't know. I was diagnosed with that, but I don't really get it that much. Because, like I said, I believe in mind over matter, based on lots of studies that I've read, clinical studies and things like that, and I'm proof of it, that if you put your mind to things, even if you're sick or you have problems, you can accomplish anything. Almost anything. And so, like, I really live that, you know? I'm like, okay, this is hard, and life's on hard mode, but I'm going to keep pushing anyway. I think that's part of the reason why I haven't given up on YouTube yet, is even though YouTube is technically impossible to earn a living now, I still keep going. I think part of it might be because I'm stubborn, or I don't know, I still think it's possible, or I crunch the numbers and it's like, well, if I get this job, I'm not going to make as much as this. Like, I'd still, even if I got this job, I still wouldn't make anywhere near what I'm making on YouTube. So even though I'm going to earn less money, I'm going to stick with it. Things like that. But just so you know, it's not like an exorbitant amount. Like, but me working 40 hours a week, let's say at McDonald's, would not cover what I make a month on YouTube. I can say that. Like, I definitely make more than fast food and a game journalist. But, you know, by 2027, I don't know. Probably not. And I find that funny. I do. But also, you know, it's annoying. I've always viewed the YouTube career as like a roller coaster, and at one point, years ago, I said I was going to get off, I was going to retire. Like, before I was 40, I was like, I'm going to retire. And then when I was 35, I was like, I'm going to retire. And then I was like, you know what? I'm never going to retire. I'm going to keep doing this till I'm dead. And now it's like I might be forced into retirement in 2 years, and it's scary. You start to think about things. You're like, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? You know, and it's hard to perceive what the future's going to be, because you don't know. Like, things could, like, the Lego Batman thing could pick up the channel amazingly next year, or it might not work at all. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, wow, your Lego Batman videos were popping. It's like, I didn't do that. I uploaded the video, and then some Lego channel friends of mine retweeted the video, and they got their viewers to watch. None of those 26 or 30,000 views off the Lego Batman is from our camp, guys. The most that you and I did with the video was 4,000 or 5,000 views. That's our peak. That's what we were able to accomplish as a community. All the other views are not our views. They're from other YouTubers, like, liking and sharing my stuff on Twitter. That's it. It's true, though. And also, a really big Lego news channel really likes me on Twitter. And whenever I do Lego Batman news, he retweets me now. But just so you know, he's not going to retweet every single live stream of Lego Batman 4 I do. Like, some live streams of Lego Batman 4 are going to do phenomenal, probably. I think the first episode will probably get 10,000 views. Maybe. I hope. I hope it doesn't get 1,000. That would suck. Because I'm planning on doing a lot of stuff next year. Like, lore and all kinds of stuff. And I can't do that for just 1,000 views a video. That's... can't do it. Can't do it physically to put myself through that type of exhaustion. And I can't do it financially either. Because it will take away time from doing live streams. Droggle, I think I messed up. I can't get up there. I took away a lot of stuff, but I can't get everything here. I might be able to try to get over here.
Should we teleport there?
And I don't... Is all this stuff going to disappear now because I teleported? Like, am I going to lose all my destruction work that I did? No, it kept it. Cool. Oh, crap. I got a super chat? I'm so sorry. Thank you, Max. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're really funny together. Like, Amber and I joke around a lot. We have a lot of weird inside jokes that nobody knows about. There's a movie we really like called Just Friends. Ryan Reynolds movie. And there's a scene in the movie where this really annoying jerk character guy, he has a music CD, and it's called Simply Dusty. So Amber and I, this inside joke we have, whenever we see something that says simply and it follows by something else, we do the Ryan Reynolds voice, like simply Dusty. Like you make it sound like very condescending and, you know, joking around. So today we were in the grocery store, and they had a section called Simply Vegan. And Amber was like, no, you're not going to do it. And I looked at her and I went, Simply Vegan. And she started laughing. Because, you know, obviously I'm referencing the movie Just Friends. But Amber, you know, immediately she knows what I'm doing. Because she's thinking it too. Like, she's so in my head that, like, she gets my jokes before I even say them sometimes. Like, she knows where I'm going. Like, we have such a very deep connection that I worry about something sometimes. Like, Amber's dark. I will tell you guys this, but she jokes around a lot and says that she's gonna bury me someday. So she's already assuming that I'm gonna go first. But what I worry about is the same thing my grandpa worried about. My grandma was very, very close with my grandpa, and she lived about 6 years after he passed. Like, my grandma made it. She was very sad, but grandpa passed in 2018. My grandma passed in 2025. But every year she got sadder and sadder and sadder. And what I didn't tell a lot of people, which was hard to, you know, talk about my grandma because she was the fun, spunky Portuguese grandma. For last year, she spent most of her time rewatching decades worth of home movies. Several times I called my grandma, she called me Patrick. Because I sound similar to my grandfather. But my family was always trying to get her away from, oh no, watching the home movies. Because that's all she would do. And she had a decade's worth of home movies, so she would, obviously she could watch stuff from the 1980s all the way until they stopped filming Christmas in 2019. So my grandma would rewatch the Christmas and the birthday things, home videos, which would take, obviously, a long time, right? But that's all she would do. Like, the TV Amber and I got Grandma and Grandpa in 2016. Like, the big screen TV. All my grandma would ever do was watch, she didn't watch, she was really big in Brazilian and Spanish soap operas. She used to love that stuff. And all she would ever do is just watch videos hearing Grandpa, and then she'd cry a lot. And that's what her life was like, living with my parents. My parents took her in. She didn't go to a nursing home. She lived with my parents for the remainder of her years. But that's all she ever did. Whenever Amber and I called her on the phone, she was watching Grandpa. And it was hard for us because we would hear Grandpa's voice in the background, you know? But it made her happy. But the thing I worry about, and I know this is bizarre, but Amber and I are so close. Like, we are very close. We joke around a lot. We think similar about stuff, politically and religiously and all this other stuff. We talk to each other every day. We spend a lot of hours together. Even before Amber, like, once Amber got a job offline, you know, we don't see each other as much. But prior to that, my wife and I worked together like 14 hours a day, and then we would sleep together and get up and have breakfast. Like, basically, our marriage, we were in the retirement phase of what a retired couple will get to spend a lot more time together once the kids are grown up and stuff like that, right? Amber and I got to spend 17 years like that. And right now it's hard for us because we're still as close as we ever were. But it's like she's starting to feel that kind of like she doesn't like going to the restaurant job because she doesn't get to hang out with me anymore. And I think that's very sweet. And I feel the same. It's like live streams aren't the same without her. Doing videos aren't the same without her. But, you know, my concern is I don't know what's going on with me, like, health-wise. You know, we had the heart scare this year. I have to get the MRI. I'm having memory problems. Like, it's getting worse. I don't know what's going to happen to how Amber's going to deal with that. Because her grandmother, both her grandmothers, they didn't last long after their husbands passed. Like, both her mom's mom and her dad's mother. Like, they didn't stick around long. They died of broken hearts, basically. And Amber doesn't have a close connection with her family, like, at all. They don't treat her as like the little princess that she is. And I call her that because Amber's tiny. I'm 6'4", Amber's 5'2". So Amber's, in real life, she's very small. She's very petite. Which, you know, it's a funny contrast between the two of us, because I'm tall and she's short. You wouldn't think it would work out, but here we are. And it's not like Amber wouldn't be able to hear me or whatever, because we have 17,000 videos. Like, she would never be able to watch all the content we ever made together in her lifetime. It's impossible. Like, the only way that you could do it is you would have had to do it while we were making the content. Zelda, you didn't, did you? Oh. Oh, man. I don't want to. I have to go clean something up. Seriously? Seriously. Home movies? No, I would not like the Golden Girls. She was rewatching, like, my grandparents loved to film stuff, and they literally had mine, like, how I was able to get a lot of memories of my Christmas and stuff back after my car accident is my grandma, like, I rewatched all my birthdays from the time I was 1 until 18 was filmed. All my Christmases from the age of 1 until 34 were filmed. So, you know, those home movies actually helped with my memory loss. Because I lost a good chunk of my memory when I had my car accident. Like, a lot. So those home movies were great because things I couldn't remember about Christmas or what was going on. You know, there are times in those home movies where I'm watching like Batman the Animated Series or The Real Ghostbusters is on TV, and like certain things that were fuzzy like a VCR come back into focus for me. Because a lot of my memory of like childhood and my dating years with Amber, all that other stuff, it's still there, but it's like static. And if you're a 90s kid, you know what static is. You can't fine tune it. You can't make the picture come in clearer, and you can't really make out what's going on very well. It's still there. It's like either fragmented or it's like very distorted. And so seeing a lot of these old movies and stuff like that, my accident was '04, so I had a lot of problems in 2004 by the time Christmas rolled around, and I was in recovery for about a year. And I was in very bad shape. I was in and out of the hospital, all kinds of stuff. When I was home from the hospital, I would watch home movies because we had them on DVD. Like all the Christmas of like 1986 through 1996 was on one DVD, and then 1996 through 2006 was on another DVD. Things like that. My birthdays, all that stuff. And I also filmed, because my grandparents loved to film stuff. When I was a kid, well before YouTube, like I made home movies of my life. So like, they're not unboxing videos, but somewhere there is videos of me opening up video games and talking about stuff about them and then playing them. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to recreate articles for Nintendo Power, because I was a huge fan of Nintendo Power. So there's some videos of me like holding up a cartridge of like I don't know where this stuff is. It's probably in my parents' house somewhere. But I don't have a VCR anymore anyway. But we would show my life like playing video games or running around in a Robin costume, don't ask. And, you know, I saw this kind of stuff. And I was like, I really did weird stuff like this? And people were like, yeah, you did it. Because, I mean, that blunt thing I took to the head, I mean, it really messed me up. So I basically, if we didn't have like those home movies and stuff like that, I don't know if I could have put a lot of my memories like prior to the accident back together again. Like I was very thankful for those home videos. That's why I was able to really, because people are like, how are you able to remember like getting your Game Boy and all this other stuff? It's like all home movies. My birthdays, the Christmas, you know, Christmas of 1990, the Christmas I got the NES, it's all filmed. It's all filmed. Little K-Wing opening stuff. Getting very excited about the NES and the N64 and Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, all there. They're all not the best quality videos, but I have them somewhere. I just don't know how I'd bring them from whatever. The thing is, my channel isn't about retro stuff, so while it would be fun to go through and make, there are some content creators that do that. They go back and they show stuff when they were kids and stuff like that. I got in trouble a lot, even at Christmas, so my full name is disclosed in those videos. My mom literally says my full name. To the point where, like, either I would need to lay audio over it or something. Like, because I was in trouble a lot as a kid. ADD kids are always in trouble. So my mom would be screaming my full first, last, and middle name constantly in those videos, and even on my birthday, because I did something or I said something. Because my mom doesn't have a sense of humor. I'm a very plucky guy. My mom never was able to have a sense of humor. She'll never have a sense of humor. Even now. I love my mom, but she and I, we're very different. I am my father's son. My dad is a jokester. I'm a jokester. My mom, not so much. So I was always getting in trouble. A lot. It's kind of funny. But yeah, it's thanks to all those home movies as a kid. And I did a, when Amber and I were first dating, we filmed it. With my old, RC, I don't remember what it's called. Was it RCA? RC camcorder? I don't remember what it is. But we sat on a couch and we were talking about what we did for our date. So I watched those. Because I forgot a lot about my dating life with Amber. I knew she was my girlfriend, and I knew we were serious, and I had, like, strong, you know, connection to her. But when she visited me, and she was, like, talking about certain things, I couldn't remember, and it caused me pain trying to think about it. Because I almost died. Took blunt trauma to the head and broke my ribs in like 15 places. Fractured my arm. Messed up my shoulder. It was bad shape. She said something to me recently that I don't know if this would actually make... I'm not a doctor, so if there's a nurse or a doctor in the chat, maybe you could let me know. She says the reason why I took so much damage from the car is her parents didn't have a lot of money, right? Her dad's Toyota, his old Toyota from the only car that they had was parked on the side of the road. And I was T-boned hard. Based on the tire marks of the accident, I would have had to hit the emergency brake and the brake at the same time to prevent my car from hitting my father-in-law's car. Which Amber believes, when I did that, I caused greater damage to myself and my car, which my car was destroyed. And all that happened to his car is I bumped into it and I dented the back door, which Amber's mom was furious about. But in a split second, my car basically tanked the entire hit of the Firebird that hit me. Which probably, because I stopped so abruptly, it caused more damage to my body or something. But I don't know if that's a thing or not. And I don't remember doing it, but I've seen the accident photos, and I've seen the tire marks. When you have something like that happen, usually the force of the impact of the other vehicle pushes you really far away, or pushes you into something or whatever, and it doesn't leave like this very clear burnt rubber thing. Like there's not usually tire residue and stuff like that. So my car left very clear and very rough tire tracks in the road. So And that wasn't from the guy who stopped either. That was, I had an emergency brake in my car, and I had the brake, and I hit both of them. Because I didn't, you know, Amber says I didn't want to ruin her dad's car. And her dad didn't even like me back then. But they couldn't afford, if he lost that car, according to my wife, they wouldn't, you know, he would have lost his job. And I, you know, I wasn't really driving the nicest car or anything like that, but I did pretty well for my age. I was a security guard. I had a lot of things going up for me. I was, you know, playing in Chicago, like in jazz clubs. Everything was looking up for my life, and my financial future was very bright. And then everything got ruined in an instant. But I don't know, like, how science works or whatever. Me even stopping the way that I did would have caused more physical damage to my body than if I just got hit and my car, you know, like, slammed into my father-in-law's car or ended up, like, you know, going across the street or something like that from the impact. Like, I don't know how that stuff works. If it's just some type of crazy theory or if it actually would do anything. I don't know. All I know is the damage that I took, that I received, was a lot. Head trauma, broken ribs, cracked shoulder, all kinds of stuff. Like, I was messed up internally pretty bad. So I don't know if that would have even done anything. Because I'm not a science person. What's funny is most people in the world actually end up working, like your boss, most of you is like C students. Most of the A and honor students, they end up working for a C plus or D plus person. So I don't really care about what my grade point average was in high school and college. You know, I still do pretty well for myself. But you know, I don't know the science or the math involved if that even matters, or if that's just like, you know, a theory. Not even a theory that could be proven or if it would really matter. I think I would still have gotten hurt anyway because I got T-boned. I don't see how me slamming on the brakes would have caused more damage to me and my car than what actually happened, because I got hit at 50 miles an hour. And I took my beautiful station wagon thing and turned it into an accordion. I don't know, like a kinetic force. I don't know if that's a thing. I have no idea. I don't know. Like, Amber keeps telling me how my personality was before the accident, and I've seen home videos of myself. I was very different before the accident. Like, I don't have amnesia. Like, I have some memory loss, but, you know, I knew who I was, I knew who Amber was. It's not like another personality was created or something, which can happen from blood trauma. Like, if you go in a coma, or, you know, you have amnesia or something like that, it's not, there's a lot of scientific theories that say it's not you who comes back. It's someone else who's piloting your body, and the you who was, you know, hurt or whatever, eventually will come back. It's 50-50 that they'll come back. But there are times Amber scares me, and she says, well, you know, you weren't quite like that back in high school or college or something like that. And I remember it another way. The only things that we've agreed on over the years is the fights that happened in high school and college. Not Amber and me, like, you know, duking out. Like, what happened to me, like, getting jumped and stuff. Because Amber heard all the rumors and stuff like that. And it coincides with what I remember. But other stuff, like, she told me recently that she doesn't know if we had a big fight with her parents at the Imperial Palace or not. She can't remember either. And she says the way that I'm remembering it, she says it's different because we didn't get engaged until 2 weeks after my car accident. And then I went to Boston because my parents wouldn't let me stay in Illinois. I was in such bad shape that my parents were too afraid to leave me because they thought I would die or something. So they, you know, they took me with them to Boston, and I was already over the age of 18, and I was already independent, but I was in bad shape, so they had to take me with them. I had to go all the way to Boston under protest, because I had no friend would take me in. Amber and I couldn't live together because it wouldn't be right. Amber had an apartment, but we were both very, very religious, and young people who aren't married don't live together. We were very adamant about that. People made up a lot of rumors about my wife and I, and we stayed pure until marriage, so it really hurts Amber that her hometown said nasty rumors about her that never happened. So, you know, I couldn't, even though I wanted to stay, the only person I could have stayed with was Amber, and she didn't, you know, it wasn't going to happen, obviously. I did think about eloping, but I didn't have a job. I lost my job. I lost my cool security guard job when I had the car accident. You know, obviously I couldn't drive to Rockford anymore. How was I going to drive to Rockford from where I was? It was a 55 minutes, hour trip on a highway. There's no way. How would I keep my job? No car, no job. That's how it works. That's how it works in a normal society. You have to have a job to have a car. Or, yeah, you have to have a car to have a job. And if you don't have most people are not sympathetic. They're like, well, how are you going to get to work? Well, my parents are moving, so I don't have a car anymore. Like, I can commute by bus or something. They're like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. Like, well, what then? They said, well, I don't even remember what they said, but that was it. And I had to pay for my uniform, too. Like, I had to pay for my security guard uniform. Super annoying, you know? But yeah, people all the time, like, they have problems, and their problems are different than mine, obviously, but the people that have, like, have really dark thoughts and things like that, it's like, I've literally survived a near fatal car accident, financial collapse, my other side of the family hating me for 15 years. And I didn't do anything wrong either, they just hated me. I lived with all that. And I had neuropathy. And I had problems from my car accident, like brain issues and all kinds of stuff. Developed a panic disorder. All that stuff. And I never have any of those dark thoughts about checking out. I just do my best and take each day at a time. Like, I never... Amber plans ahead. I don't plan ahead. I take each day one day at a time. A Monday is a Monday. A Tuesday is a Tuesday. I don't go out of my way to be like, okay, because I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I had my whole life ahead of me. I was a really good studio musician in Chicago. I was playing in jazz clubs. I had a great security guard job that back then I was making $13.50 an hour. And it was the most boring job ever, and I loved it. But I was making, in 2004, $13.50 an hour as a security guard. That was good money. So everything was going really well for me. And then it all changed in an instant. It was just gone. When I played at the jazz club, I was only making like I think I was getting paid like $7.10 an hour. Like to be like a jazz drummer or something like that. I wasn't making very much. Well, I mean, for a college kid, yeah, it was quite a bit of money. So I had a security job, had the thing. As a studio musician, I made about $960, I think, is what I made when I worked in the studio. And when I was a radio DJ, I made about $8, I think, an hour. Something like that. Yep. Everything has changed so quickly. And it sucks, too. Looking back, I mean, I don't know what the right thing to do was, like, eloping or actually having the wedding, because the wedding was easy. Amber doesn't like it when I post wedding pictures. It brings back, just like I can't go near her dad's house. Like, if she sees wedding pictures of ours, she, like, gets really upset. She loves me and everything, but the wedding was very, very painful. My grandma and grandpa were like adorable to my wife and stuff like that, and my parents were nice. But my side of the family, not the Portuguese side, they didn't come. Only I have a big Portuguese family of about 60 people. I had, I think, like 7 came to our wedding. I think. And they were all atheists. So they came to the wedding, they didn't go to the reception hall. Because it was too churchy for them. I mean, obviously it took place like in a church, but they didn't stay for pictures, they didn't anything. They were there, they saw, they congratulated us, and then they went back to New York. Like they just left. But there were family members on both sides who were like not okay with either one of us saying like aunt or uncle. Which, you know, based on Amber and my, you know, cheery personality, you guys didn't really know this stuff. But the wedding was not storybook at all. It was rough. Parts of it were great. There was some stuff with family that was not great. Because obviously, you know, we didn't have the blessing of Amber's family. Which, I know it sounds corny and stuff like that. It was 2006, 2005. Why would you need that? But they were never going to give me their blessing because they didn't want Amber to even be dating me. They did not like me. But Amber liked me and it was Amber's choice, so I didn't do... they always say if you love somebody, let them free, but I didn't believe in that because I was like, no, you know, whatever happens, we're going to go through life together because someday, I told her, I said, all our family will be dead someday and it'll be us. Just be us against the world. And you love me and I love you, so we're gonna see this through. Because it might be painful, it might not, but in the end, we'll only have each other anyway. And that's, I still believe that. And this year, there's been so many family members that have passed away. Amber and I have lost a lot of people. So, you know, my wise saying in my 20s is proven correct. Like, my parents are much older now. Her dad's in his 70s. Her mom's gone. My aunt's gone, like my great aunt. My uncle is gone. I only have on my dad's side, I only have a few relatives left. My Portuguese side, I mean, it's like my big fat Greek wedding. There's so many people, but I don't know who they are. They came to the funeral for my grandma this year, but I still don't know all of them, and they have so many kids too. Yeah. They're really fun people, but I don't, they're like strangers to me. I don't know who they are. Some of them I know, but I don't go to the big family thingies where they drink a lot and talk politics and whatever else they do. So they are like strangers to me. I don't know them very well. I don't even know if my mom knows them, and my mom's Portuguese, you know? Wow, I think we did a ton, Dogger. Look at that. There's only a little bit left. Huh! That's pretty cool. Sorry guys, ADD moment. Can I destroy this? Impossible to destroy that.
Should we teleport?
At least we got married? Of course we got married. There was a lot of opposition, though. Yeah. People always thought that Amber and I had, like, this really great life, off camera. The only thing great about our life is our marriage. Our marriage is incredible. Like, nobody else like us on the internet. Most of the YouTubers that we know personally, they're all divorced. Abdallah was the last one that we knew to get a divorce. Like, the other people we knew when we first started YouTube, they're on their second or third marriages. Or they're not married at all. Abdallah was the last one that we knew, that, like, they're not married anymore. Which is sad because we really liked him. His wife was really nice. Out of most of the YouTube wives that we knew, or ex-wives, like, Abdallah's wife was a sweetie. She was very nice. It's a shame what happened with them. Because she was very, very supportive, very kind, and she was very nice to Amber and I. The couple times that we all went out as, like, double date and conventions to eat dinner and stuff like that, it was really fun. I liked it. I didn't really like hanging out with a lot of YouTubers. I liked hanging out with Abdallah and his wife. It was always fun when we would join up and stuff like that. Looking back, I wish we did dinner with them more. Like, if I could go back and stuff like that, I would have gone out to eat with them more. I don't know if it would have changed anything, but... At one point, we were planning on moving to Chicago, and Abdallah and Jess were very excited. Like, Abdallah was telling us about all these different types of houses, because we almost did move to Chicago in 2021. I think it was 2020, 2021. We were thinking about it. And he was giving me all this advice about like what type of like condo we can get and things like that. We talk about all these collab potentials. And then of course he ended up moving to Utah by himself not long after that. And we weren't financially able to go to Chicago because we got hit with a medical bill for Amber. I think it was Amber's surgery she had, or paying back when we lost Kyle. I don't remember. I know it was a big financial thing that happened, and we couldn't move to Illinois. It's funny, every time we try to buy a house or move from Pennsylvania, we get hit with a huge financial liability. Like, something massive comes after us, like, out of the blue. It's insane. It's orchestrated. It's the devil. Because no person I've ever met has had the type of bad luck that Amber and I have. Like, no one. Whether they're secular or Christian or whatever. Like, the devil is really out for us. He doesn't like us. Because we've had so many horrible things happen to us. We're still together, we're still married, we're still happy, but like, we don't have financial security, we don't have relatives that like us. We have deranged ex-fans. All kinds of stuff. We can't move. My car is messed up currently. And my Jeep is not able to leave the state. There's lots of stuff. I don't know what am I supposed to get over there. I think we got everything. Oops. I don't know how to fight you. I don't know how to fight you, leave me alone. I'm gonna break more stuff. Maybe. That looks pretty good to me.
You need a break.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? The claymation movie? What about it? Had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glowed. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. I know who Rudolph is. I don't know him personally. We lost touch out of college. He was a wily one, that Rudolph. He didn't like to commute in the snow. I went to college with a place with a lot of snow. We'd have to walk in knee-deep snow to get to class. Rudolph would always complain. Banana jam.
Should we teleport?
Rudolph game? Yeah, there's a Rudolph game. They have a PS5 and Switch game? Why, you think of becoming an Ultimate or something to make me play a reindeer game? I mean, I'm fine with it. I think it would work better in December, though.
You okay?
Most people request, like, Halloween games, and we're getting near Halloween. Shoot, what time is it? Okay, I have to wake Amber up soon. Well, Drago, what do you think? I know this stream got a little derailed, but I mean, I lost a lot of people this month. I think Charlie's death could have, like, caused me to spiral a little bit, but I didn't know him on a personal level. I knew him as, like, a religious leader in the church. Like a young, upcoming... He was basically like the next Billy Graham. So I met him at a church-related thing when he was much younger. And he gave off Billy Graham energy, so I would have been sad when he died anyway. But I knew Billy, and obviously I knew my great aunt. And going back to Amber's hometown was a real mental strain on me and Amber. So I guess my mind just kind of wandered tonight. Sorry about that. I haven't been back to that town in 7 years.
You need a break.
Yeah, I think we completed the mission. I think we're good. I have to have some fruit. Like berries. Berries are the only thing that seem to help my head. When I'm having a bad headache or a tension thing, I eat like strawberries or blueberries, and it helps with some of the tension in my head, and it helps like with headache symptoms. I don't know how it does it, but it does. I believe I read somewhere that blueberries and strawberries help with inflammation. So since a lot of medicines don't work for that, I eat a lot of berries. Especially when I'm starting to get head pain, I have berries, and then the head pain subsides. It could be a placebo thing, and it could all be in my head, but for me it seems to work, so I don't care if it's a placebo. If it's just like something that doesn't actually do anything, but it works for me, I'm just gonna keep doing it, and I'm just gonna pretend that there's some scientific reason why it works. Even if it doesn't. Alright. Well, Drago... Oh. See, this is... See, Donkey Kong? This is how I feel. If you see how Donkey Kong is, this is how I feel after live streams. Like, this is me the month of September. Like, this is how I feel. I feel like that.
You need a break.
And the person on the shoulder, that's Amber. That's the type of look that Amber gives me a lot. Because she's always worried about me. go back to the happy, fun Donkey Kong land. Well, Droggle, we destroyed it. And here's a bird's eye view again. This all, ladies and gentlemen, this was all ice. This was all ice and radiant stuff. It's all gone. I actually did pretty well for destroying all this. I missed a couple things, but I can't get everything. It's kind of hard to get everything. Your elephant breath can only go so far, but I mean, you have to admit, this is pretty good for elephant breath. I wasn't able to get in here, but it doesn't matter. That was a lot of destruction. 2 sides of destruction. Okay, where is the... You are here. Where is the, where's the gong? There it is.
Should we teleport?
Make a Ninja Turtles thumbnail. Just so you guys know, like, what can cause me to do things. Since I'm a very musical person, music affects my mood. So, because the Radiant layer had such, like, an ominous, like, depressing sound to its, soundtrack, or its composition, add on the time of night, the depressing music, you're gonna get weird topics. If I'm playing something that's really upbeat, and it's got, like, a lot of, like, you know, fast-paced music like Sonic or something like that, I'm gonna be in a much better mood. And usually Donkey Kong is a very, like, you know, spirited, fun thing. But it's like it's just that layer in general. It has no nostalgia whatsoever. Like, this is playing the Donkey Kong theme, like from a Donkey Kong Country game. It's slowed down a little bit. It's peaceful. But, like, I've always... Just like when I used to do reviews, I would use music as an emotional hook for people. Like, I would match the best musical aspects of the game, and I would put that into my reviews so that my voice would harmonize with the music that you were hearing. So it wasn't that my reviews were just awesome. They were made to sound awesome as well. Like, I purposely, like, painstakingly went through and selected music that I thought helped accent my voice, as well as hammered a point. When we were talking about a bad section of a game, we were using more intense music from that game, like to showcase, okay, this is a bad part. And then for the conclusion, we would use something that would bring together both the music and the game into, like, a perfect, you know, just, I forget the musical word, but I would mostly use ending credits music from the game that I was doing the review on, because that's usually where everything comes together in the end credits, when they're doing, like, a medley of stuff. So I purposely did stuff, like, with a musician's ear when I did my reviews. So certain games will create different types of discussions based on just how they sound, like how the music is. It will set the tone for stuff. I don't know why that is. Maybe it makes me sound crazy, but I believe that there's a psychological aspect that music impacts people's moods, or it can. That's why there's so many different types of music. When you go shopping and stuff, they tend to have easy listening music. When you're in the dentist office, they tend to have music that's not, it's kind of ambient and annoying, slow, like 70s, 80s music. Almost elevator-like. When you're at a theme park, they have more exciting, like, charging music, like da-da-da-da-da-da, you know? Because they're trying to get people's energy up. When you're on a date and you go to a restaurant, sometimes they play romantic music to get you in the mood. You know, music has, like, a huge impact on our synapses, on our brains and things. So, for me, if the music is kind of, we'll say, ominous or dark or mysterious, then my topics get a little weird sometimes. So, if I, you know, went too far or whatever, that's why. I was just about to wake you up. No, I'm not. My tone sounds mean. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I sound matter of fact. No, I was having problems with something. No, I was having memory problems on the stream. It's okay. My mind went blank a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, Drago, sorry for hijacking your stream. And, I hope you still had fun with the carnage. There was carnage. I have the Pac-Man stream set up. I'm gonna make the Ninja Turtles thumbnail for tomorrow. Not on the stream, obviously, but we're gonna Pac-Man. I still can't believe the short did that well. Music is power? Yeah, music can do all kinds of stuff. Like Bill and Ted, they felt like music would save the world. Harmony, yeah, I think harmony, harmonize, yeah. I think that's might have been where I was going, Drago. I don't know. I doubt. What is our hourly now? Nowhere near what it was. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a huge spike and then a huge fall. Wow. Yeah, that's huge. So Amber, one of the shorts went pop tonight, and then it crashed significantly. Yeah. All I did was I said, it's good to be home, and it got 3,000 views in like the first 30 minutes. And then by 1 in the morning, our channel dropped down to 700 views an hour. Yeah, it was like 3,000 views from 11 to 12, and then from 12 to 1 it went to 1,600. And then from 1 to 2 it went to 700. It was a huge, it just died. Yeah, it is. Anyway, guys, I'm just rambling, so I'm gonna make myself some turkey so I can sleep. Well, not make myself turkey, but I'm gonna make myself a turkey sandwich that has tryptophan that'll help me calm my head and I can sleep, probably. Okay, yeah, sure. Upbeat layer's good. If not, we can play a custom Donkey Kong soundtrack or something. Alright guys, God bless, have a good night. And today is the last day that we can earn any revenue on the channel. So if you guys are waiting to do any major super chats or memberships, today's the day. It's the 30th of September. We got a big day planned with Ninja Turtles and Sonic and Pac-Man. So, all right, guys, take care. You're all pretty amazing people. So, bye-bye.